Hey guys, this is Camp for 15 back at it with another video for you guys. And I'm back with another Fairy Tale 100 Year Quest manga chapter review. If I sound a little blue or something, I'm just trying to stay quiet. My mom came back from work and I don't want to disturb her this early. But I felt like I should have just did this. Well, in the morning as opposed to me reading it late last night because it actually came out last night on Tuesday, which it's been a while since the chapter has done that, but yeah, it was good. I'm also lucky too to be recording this video right now and having this get up earlier than I thought it would because we were supposed to have a cleaning lady come by the house, but we had to cancel plans. So lucky you guys. You guys get the video a lot earlier than what was supposed to happen. Anyways, this chapter was really good. We get into the fight between Erza and Misaki in this chapter, and Masaki's interesting weird ability, just from the standpoint like her power or her ability is like very strong, but it does have a drawback if it doesn't work. But let's get into it. This is chapter 104, titled Blue Dimension. The cover page is of Erza, well, looking like she's in a samurai outfit. She looks like she's wearing I guess you can say some like Ichigo's clothes or something like that. I haven't watched Bleach. I do plan on watching Bleach at some point, but it looks like she's wearing Ichigo's clothes. So yeah. Hey, maybe it's supposed to be some sort of homage. Anyways, last week we had not last week, 2 weeks ago, we had the great moment of Lucy using the Trinity spirit spell, which I thought was freaking cool. And after that, obviously, she powers out of her star dress form. She's essentially cooked, done. And you have it to where Kirlia, she's done. Again, the smoke that's earing off off her body is essentially covering up the part of her chest areas where you can see a little nipples. But okay, yeah, Kirlia is done. She's given that look like she's done. Loxus is over there. He smiles, but then he finally gets back to normal because now he's not under Kirlia's spell anymore. And he's like, what the hell's going on? Why is my memory all hazy and everything? And Virgo is right there, and she's like, listen, don't move, you got a pretty bad wound and everything. And obviously Virgo tells Lox is that, yeah, Lucy handled the Diablos girl, don't worry about it. She kind of comes up with a fake little she kind of comes up with a fake little lie because Lox is like, wait, what happened? What exactly happened? And Virgo, being her ever perverted self, is like, well, you were punishing me, Loxus, and you were slapping my ass and everything. I'm like, this girl Virgo is something else, bruh. She is probably one of the most weirdest spirits I have the entire series. That whole fetish of getting punished is something that it's like, it's so weird. Again, even though I do not like the filler arc, the Eclipse Celestial Spirits arc, when the Celestial Spirits went evil in the anime, the one thing I will say I take away is Virgo probably had to be one of my favorite Celestial Spirit that turned evil, just from the standpoint, she was twice as kinky as she was before, but she was kind of a more of a like kinky dominator type where she would just inflict pain on you to get enjoyment out of it, which it's kinky as well, but whatever. That's the whole thing. So yeah. Anyways, Lux is like, she must have had crazy skill, and obviously, he's like, you got real strong, Lucy. Yeah, he I'm not trying to say he should not know that, but I guess from his perspective, he doesn't really hang out with Lucy as much. He doesn't really talk to her as much. So, of course, he wouldn't know that Lucy has this crazy strength, behind her and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyways, we cut over to Natsu and Suzuku. They're kind of looking, they're trying walking around the ruins to find Ignia and everything. And one, they both can't pick up his scent and everything. Um, and Natsu actually tells Ignia, like, or not tells Ignia, tells Suzuku that you know, Ignia is in his way like his half slash step brother. And the fact that, he can't pick up the scent, of Ignia, and then, that Igniel is his father. He tells him all that backstory and stuff like that. So it's pretty much interesting. And just getting some more, discussion between the two. Happy shows up. Natsu thought Happy was with Lucy, but obviously Happy was on his own and stuff like that. And it's funny because Happy's like, "Oh, Lucy, oh, it's okay, she'll be fine." So I'm like, "Yeah, she was fine, all right, but you just bailed on her." So yeah, and it's funny because Suzuku is like, "This guy puts too much faith in that cat." So yeah, but anyways, we cut over to the main part of the chapter, or which we cut over to the main, I guess you can say the main reason of this chapter ever being created, and that's between the fight of Urzan and Misaki. Now, if you remember the last time we went over here to this fight, Masaki did some interesting technique to where she easily cut Erza, and it cut her hair, which left Erza pissed off. Because you should not mess with Erza's hair. And now Erza looks like Erza Nightwalker from Edalus, which, hey, I'm all for. I love me some Erza Nightwalker. But obviously that's the thing now. Erza kind of tells Gajal, Carla, and Gray, listen, you guys stay she gives her typical, I guess you can say, stay the hell back. This is my fight. I don't want any of you interrupting this fight. And stuff like that. And she goes on to say, I will I'll be the one to handle this, and I'll be enough. And obviously Gray and Ganja are like, what the you could use our help, we're strong too. But Urza's like, don't. Urza's kind of just, I guess you can say her pride's been cut since her hair's been cut, because she's got to look good for her boyfriend Jalal. Anyways, I think Jalal wouldn't care. He'd probably be shocked. He'd be like, Erza, what happened to your hair? And then all she can just say is, well, somebody cut it. But like I said, I'm probably going to predict this. Probably by the end of this arc, Erza's going to meet up with Wendy not going to meet up with Wendy. She's going to meet up with Lucy. They're going to be shocked about her hair being cut, and then maybe she'll ask, Lucy, can you bring out your freaking crab cancer so you can do my hair? Because essentially, if you remember from the Tartarus arc, Wendy had the same kind of bobbed haircut where she cut her hair for some odd reason. I don't know. I still to this day don't know why she cut her hair. It was like supposed to be like and typically the thing about in Japan, because especially, when I watch Pokemon X and Y, the thing about Japan is if you cut your hair, it's a sign of like a new life, a new beginning for you. And I've always found that weird how Wendy cut her hair as a way to have a new beginning in her life, to be a more confident person in herself. And then lo and behold, by the end of the arc, after almost all the Fairy Tail before Fairy Tail disbands, she asks Lucy to give her hair back, and she used cancer. Never understood that. Personally, if you ask me, I would have, if I were the creator, I would have just let Wendy's hair be cut and let it stay cut. But it is. Anyways, it could have grown back over during the time skip. So, that's the thing there. So I think that's what they're going to do with Erza. After this whole arc is over, Kane's is going to just come out, give Erza her hair extensions like what he did with Wendy back in the Tartarus arc, hair back to normal. So yeah. Anyways, she equips into her purgatory armor, and essentially Masaki's like, oh, seems like you're underestimating me. You think I'm a joke, huh? Okay, sure. And obviously Misaki's like, look, it doesn't matter. You can all come at me whenever you want. I'll take you all on. At the end of the day, you're all still gonna lose and stuff like that. So Yeah, now Gray goes on to make the mention of the fact after Carla says like her magic's incredible. Gray makes the mention of the fact that it feels almost like a fusion of between Loxus and Guild Arts. Are about to square off. So essentially, what happens is Misaki is like, well, if you really want a one-on-one fight, you only got 5 seconds to finish me off. Now, me first reading the chapter, I'm like, 5 seconds? What is she? I'm like, what is she supposed to mean by that? 5 seconds. And all of a sudden she raises her hand and Erza's like body starts to like fizz out of this reality and Erza's just completely gone. Gray and Gajil and Carl are like, wait, what the hell just happened? And essentially Erza's looking around and she's in this different dimension. It's called the blue dimension. Now Masaki goes on to say, we're in a world with just you and I. And Erza is saying like her body's floating, but she can't move. And she has no strength in her legs and nothing. Essentially, she just can't move. And essentially, Masaki goes and saying, you see, when we come to here, this world, I am absolute. Essentially saying that I can do whatever I freely want in this realm, while you can't do nothing. Or if I don't give you the power to allow you to do that. She uses this move called Blue Stream that attacks Erza. And Erza comes out of the dimension, and they're back in they're back in the labyrinth. So obviously, Erza's all damaged up. Gray, Gajil, and Carla, they're like, whoa, what happened? And essentially, Misaki's like, that was 5 seconds. And all of a sudden, this crazy attack from within Erza, or this like explosion, just comes out of nowhere, and Erza's body is just being ravaged, and she starts screaming out in pain and everything. And we find out what the heck this dimension is. Essentially, Masaki goes on to further state, 5 seconds in the blue dimension is approximately 5 hours here. Essentially, ergo, a mere 5 seconds worth of damage becomes 5 hours of torture and all the damage with it. So essentially, Masaki is saying, if you get damaged in this blue realm for the amount of time I say, you're going to be in this dimension, well then, essentially when you come out of it, seemingly enough, it seems like, if she says 5 seconds, then obviously, like I said here, when she comes out of it, it will be as if you were fighting for 5 hours and got damaged for 5 hours, and stuff like that. So it's a pretty interesting technique, to be honest. The fact that she can forcibly put you in a different dimension, and if she just says before she does that, oh, I give you this time limit of an hour, that essentially probably would mean like a day, and stuff like that, which is it makes her ability pretty dang devastating and very scary, because that means you're kind of at a disadvantage already before the fight even starts. And I also do like the fact that Mashima kind of pulled some of the elements of the celestial spirit world with this attack, with a little bit of a twist on it. And again, if you don't know the whole properties of the celestial spirits world, it's like when Natsu and company go into the celestial spirit world, they could spend like freaking a few hours in there, and then like how in the Grand Magic Games arc they spent like, I forgot how many hours they spent in there. I don't think they specify, but they come out and lo and behold, like the 3 months they needed to train already went up in smoke. So it's something like that, just with a little bit of a spin, I guess you can say. It's just the only difference is it's as the same properties of yada yada, time flows differently in a different reality. In the blue dimension, it feels like 5 seconds only had passed, but when you came out, Erza's feeling like pain as if she experienced it for 5 hours. So that's pretty cool and everything. So anyways, that was cool. Honestly, I like this attack. Makes it actually pretty unique. Anyways, Erza's just badly damaged. Dang near all her purgatory armor is broken. She's just left in a bloody mess, essentially. And Grand guys will watch over to Erza, and they're like, what the heck, Erza? Like, stay with us, man. And essentially, Carla goes on to make the mention again, the further to the reader. So any damage sustained in the other world will be multiplied upon return. And Misaki's like, well, if you want to put it like that, go right ahead. So yeah. Um, Now Misaki's like, no, I don't think she can fight anymore. Well, next up and stuff like that. So Gray and Ganjo are getting ready to fight, but Gray looks like he's going to start off. But then obviously somebody says wait, and it's Erza, and everybody's shocked that Erza's even able to freaking get back up and at least get to her knees. And Erza's like, I told you, I am going to be the one to take her down. I will be enough. And obviously everybody's shocked, like, how are you even like standing right now? You should be knocked out. And even Masaki's like, I never expected you to get back up. Well, it is what it is. I guess I'll just have to show you some more punishment and stuff like that. And essentially, she goes and says the next 24 hours or the next 24 seconds of pain will be equivalent to 1 full day's worth of torture. So I guess I was wrong about my example, which honestly makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. 24 seconds. There's 24 hours in a day. So you know that makes complete sense. But I love this line from Erza where she said, "1 day, that's lenient. I've known tortures that have lasted far longer," which is obviously hinting back to when she was a kid in the Tower of Heaven, which was a torture hell for her. I'm trying to think of anything else. Obviously, the next torture thing was the and I think she's probably recalling the Tower of Heaven, but she's probably mostly also recalling when she got tortured by when it was in the Tartarus arc. She was when she was tortured by I'm trying to remember her name. Man, I'm trying to remember her freaking name, dog. I'm gonna look this up mid video. I should have. I know. How are you? Jeez Louise. Hold on a quick second, guys. I'll find it. Okay, guys, back. Erza was tortured by Kyoka, and I think that's what she's more than likely telling Masaki of the standpoint, I've been tortured far worse than what you think you put me through, and stuff like that, because we know back from the Tardos arc, Kyoka literally freaking, tortured her and gave her all this pain and punishment, just turning on like the max like sensors Erza could feel pain for. And I think to Erza that was probably more painful than what Masaki just did to her, which again, like I said, it was a badass line stated by Erza, and stuff like that, just from the standpoint where she's like, oh please, you think that was bad? I've been tortured far worse than you think than you wish you could ever torture me. So I thought that was a pretty badass line. So yeah, and obviously Masaki's like, that mouth of yours is gonna get you into trouble. So it's gonna be interesting. So she puts her back in. They go back in the blue dimension, and Masaki's like, this place, my world, is one where I and only I may come in contact with my enemy. And essentially, Misaki looks like she's getting ready to charge some sort of like finger beam or something like that. And Erza then, requips into her Heaven's Wields armor. Misaki fires off the attack Blue Stream, but Erza dodges it. And Erza goes on to tell Misaki, you see, the problem with you is using the same magic twice. That's where you messed up and everything. And essentially, Erza goes on to say, this space may hinder my movements, but my armor can still move fine. And Masaki goes on to say, could it be she's magically influencing her armor? Essentially, she's using her armor as a way to move. And that's how she goes into her Heaven's Wields armor, because it has like the wings and everything. And she goes down and she uses Heaven's Wheeled Blumenbolt and cuts through Misaki and actually damages her. And the chapter ends off with Masaki very pissed off, saying, "Do you expect to defy my world?" And that's where we left off on the cliffhanger there. So Erza is more than likely going to use her armors to essentially counteract the balances by putting most of her magic power into her armor. That's how she's probably going to be able to move and everything and do the attacks. So yeah, and then I'm guessing another interesting thing is I wonder too, if Masaki gets hit in her own realm when she comes out, does that also mean she's going to be affected, and when she comes out, she's gonna also get the same amount of pain that Erza got when she first came out? It would only make sense that this would be like the calculated risk she takes when she does this move, from the standpoint, yes, I may have the ability, but somebody can break that dimension where I can put them in a trance where they're just stopped, then I get hit, I'm probably screwed. And again, she said 24 seconds, which is going to be equivalent to 1 full day's worth of pain and torture. So Masaki comes out of this realm with dang near all this damage Erza can put on her. I think you can say it's a wrap for Masaki, unless she doubles down what Erza did and she gets back up. But seemingly, I feel like this fight could end by the next chapter 105, because they already expressed, that okay, 24 seconds we're going to be in here. It's going to accumulate to 1 day when we get out. And Masaki already got hit once by a very powerful attack. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes. But honestly, I actually liked Masaki's power. It's unique, and it's actually pretty damn deadly. So anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's chapter of Fairy Tail, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more Fairy Tail content on the channel. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, peace.